Good evening, everyone. My name is Amy. Wow, this is a real treat to be here. I don't get out much, so I'm a single mum. I work for the NHS. Thank you. So yeah, this is really special because usually I'm knackered and tired most of the time. Knackered and broke, to be fair. But we'll see if it's a treat for you guys in 7 to 10 minutes, really. So yeah, I work for the NHS. I'm a nurse, but I'm probably one of the lowest rated nurses out there at the moment. I work for a GP surgery. I hear all of the comments, right? You know, I haven't seen my GP in 3 years. Does she even exist? I'm number 777 in the call queue and I dialed at 801. The receptionist is a cunt. Like, I hear all of it, you know. But the honest truth is that we are maxed out. Like, I'm not playing poker down in my little basement. I'm working really hard, yeah? I mean, I did last Wednesday 15 smears all before lunchtime. I mean, even for a lesbian, that is a lot of vagina. It's a lot. And you know, I do a lot of smears and I kind of feel that my surgery is taking part in some kind of conversion therapy. You know, if I see enough of them, eventually I'll go off them. And I'm not overly concerned, but I do wonder if the Starbucks worker, when he gets home, first thing he does, put the kettle on. Not convinced, right? So, a little bit concerning, but I'm a professional. Like, it doesn't bother me. Women who come in and they're all worried about having their smears really does not bother me. But at work, I would say I'm a really nice person. Outside of work, I'm a bit of a dick, right? Inside of work, I'm nice, I'm compassionate, I listen to people, like I really try my best because no one wants a grumpy nurse, right? How many times have you been to the doctor and the nurses growled at you, right? But people act very differently when they go to the doctor, you know, and our training teaches us to be nice. So yes, there is natural niceness, but we do have to, you know, people push us sometimes. You know, for example, there was this young lad, he'd been asked by his doctor to do a stool sample. Anyone know what a stool sample is? Yeah, so it comes in a nice little pot with a spoon. It's all very neat and tidy. It gets handed to me in a bag. This guy walked into my room with a lollipop stick. And at the end of his lollipop stick was his shit. Waving it around and saying to me, "Excuse me, nurse, what do I do with this?" Now, outside Amy would have said, "Get that the fuck out my face." Inside work Amy was, "Oh, let me take that off you, sir. You obviously weren't explained what to do with your bowel movements." Like, just unbelievable. So help us help you, right? Because there's only so much nice I can be if people are going to be a bit silly, right? Now, people also feel the need to overshare. So for anyone who works in the supermarket or the bank, you know, you walk in and you say, "Hello, how are you?" "I'm fine, thank you. How are you?" "Oh, that's good." And that's the end of the conversation, right? People walk into my room, I say, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Smith, how are you?" "Oh, my hemorrhoids have been keeping me up, dear." She only come in for a fucking flu jab. I don't need to know the status quo of her asshole, but she feels like I need to do. So nice nurse Amy kicks into action and we talk 20 minutes about her backside, right? So just help me help you, right? Because we don't need to know it all. So one of the other things that is quite a struggle, everyone likes to tell the truth, okay? Now, I understand people are vulnerable and they're scared often, but there are times when the truth is important, okay? Did you take all of those pills? Have you been drinking before breakfast? All of these things are important truth-telling information. Anything beyond that, you can fudge the truth a little bit, okay? So I'll give you an example. I used to work in an emergency call centre, okay? It was a company abroad where people had a membership and they had heart problems. They would phone up and we would dispatch ambulances if we thought their condition was urgent. A bit like 111 without the stupid questions, right? Because anyone thought that it was a smart question to ask people, "Have you been bleeding red blood in the last 2 hours?" Has anyone phoned 111 been bleeding for 2 hours? No, because you'd all be fucking dead, right? So, it's such a dumb question. But when the people used to phone, it would pop up on the screen their name. So we'll use Mr. Jones as an example. So I get a phone call from 78-year-old Mr. Jones. Phones up, and the first thing I hear him go is, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Oh, Mr. Jones, what's happened?" And he said, I'm getting a shock from my automatic defibrillator. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically a little thing, pacemaker in your chest that detects if your heart rate is doing something funky, and it will give you a direct shock straight to your heart. Very painful, but life-saving. So nice nurse Amy kicks into mode and says, oh, Mr. Jones, take a seat, help is coming. And then I make the mistake of asking him, what were you doing before it happened? 78-year-old Mr. Jones replied, I was wanking. Now, I understand they asked a question, right? But there were many answers that would have been suffice. I was climbing the stairs. I was eating something heavy. I did something energetic. But Mr. Jones felt like he needed to share the truth. Help me help you, okay? Right? But it did get me thinking, that conversation. Death by masturbation is not a bad way to go, right? I don't think I'd be too pissed off if I died after a massive wank, right? I think everyone here would agree, right? But there are worse ways to go, okay? And I'm going to mention two of the top, and the first one is 500 yards from the end of a marathon race. The fucker doesn't even reach the finish line, right? And they drum into us that exercise is good for us, okay? And you can just see it, you know. Oh, look, there's the end. I've never felt more exhilarated. There's my family. Hi, guys. I don't know why I'm American. Hi, everyone. Oh, it's wonderful. I'm at my personal best. Oh, I've never felt more alive, dead, right? I mean, that is brutal. If that happened to me, I'd be pissed, you know? Like, near the end. It's meant to be good for you, and you fucking killed the person. It's really cruel. But the number one most brutal way to die. And anyone over the age of 40, you need to be concerned, because I used to get a lot of calls on the call centre for this. And the way to die is doing a shit on the toilet. Okay? It happens a lot. And I want to tell you that if it happens, it will become your legacy. People will remember you for dying on the toilet, right? Now, this is how the conversation will go in the pub. Oh, God, yeah. Do you remember Amy? Yeah. She was so lovely. Yeah, but did you hear? She died on the toilet. God, I know. It's so awful. Yeah. Shouldn't laugh, but, you know, a bit embarrassing, really, isn't it? You know, like, bum in the air, mid-shit, like, really. And the thing is, as the years go on and the grief passes, because eventually it does a little bit, right? The conversation will sound like this. Yeah, do you remember Amy? Yeah, she was right, Dick. Yeah, she died doing a fucking shit. That's just so embarrassing. What the hell? You know, and that's the thing. Elvis, right? I bet you can't name 6 of his songs, but you all know he died on the fucking toilet, right? So anyone over the age of 40, don't give up smoking, don't give up drinking, increase your fibre, okay? Because the next shit you do could be your last. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. The more strain that you put, just increase your fibre. Do me a favour, I feel like I want to have saved a life tonight, okay? But I want to leave you with something a little bit more serious tonight, just before I finish. And this has been, as I said, a great treat, so I appreciate you all for laughing, or trying to laugh. So I want to apologise on behalf of my people, not lesbians and not Jews, actually, because I feel if Jews are going to be apologised, you need to apologise to me, and then that's just a bit awkward. I mean, we can do that upstairs, you can buy me a drink, it's fine. It's NHS staff, because I actually feel that people feel very hard done by, right? And we are trying really, really hard. We're burnt out, basically, and the problem is that sometimes when you come in and you think, oh, that receptionist has been really nasty, or that nurse hasn't been as nice as I'd like her to be. Remember, I've seen 20 vaginas before you've come in, and you know, it's a stressful job, and unfortunately we've been pushed to breaking point. So the next time you feel like you want to write a Google complaint about how much of a cunt your nurse was, just blame the Tories. And